I've seen some very scary similarities with Bitcoin and Amazon.com right here to do with the dot-com bubble. I'm going to be talking to you about this in this YouTube video, but this is not a nice video. This is one of the scarier charts that I've seen in my time being a trader and analyst. The reason it's scary is actually what comes afterwards. It's not necessarily how much low Bitcoin can drop now, but what might happen after the drop. But I'm going to be breaking this all down for you because, as usual, guys, I'm really not that worried. I think Bitcoin's still overall in a good position, but my job as what I would hope to be a responsible trader and a responsible analyst is to always look at both sides and then make the most informed decision that I possibly can. So you guys know the drill. If that's not you, if you don't like to look at the facts, if you don't like to face harsh realities, and if you don't like hearing those things from somebody on YouTube, then get the fuck off the channel and let's just stick to the real ones. So here's the deal, guys. Here's what we're looking at. Bitcoin, with its rally up here, had a few key characteristics. Let's switch it on to the daily chart just to be a little bit more clear. We had a few key characteristics. The first one was we set an interesting high right here that lasted for a short amount of time, and then we actually managed to rise above that high. The next one is that we set basically a double top. From that double top, we then tumbled lower with absolutely no remorse whatsoever, no relief, no real relief. I mean, we did get some nice rallies, to be fair. I shouldn't discount this. That's a 44% rally. This has also been a 40% rally. So we have had some relief right here, but nothing super crazy, nothing that I think, allowed the market to go crazy again or anything like that. And this has similarities to what Amazon has printed. Take a look at this chart right here. So what I'm going to do now is actually just hide my webcam because I'm going to be obstructing the screen. But, we have some similarities here with Amazon. We're looking at Amazon.com on the 1 week chart all the way back to 2000. Okay, so a very, very long time ago. I was not born back then. So quite a long time ago for me specifically. And we did set this double bottom right here where we ended up falling down by minus 92% within a time period of about 500 days. So I don't know, that's like a year and a half, a little bit more, something like that. Bitcoin doing something quite similar, although faster. We've seen less of a drop. We didn't drop down by 92%. This has only dropped down by 70% on this occasion, but the price action is very similar, and especially what happens if you focus on what's going on right here. What Amazon was doing right here is it managed to set an absolute low, or at least temporarily set an absolute low, where it bounced off the kind of 40-cent area, went back up to the $1 area. And by the way, I just think this is funny. I just want to pause this video right here to point out that it's now at $127. So it's very, very interesting how this stuff goes. I mean, Amazon is literally over 100 times larger now than where it got rejected over here. Like over, it's kind of hard to fathom the scale that this company has grown at, and I think that gives us a nice little hint at what Bitcoin might be experiencing in the future. I don't know. I'm not going to stand here and tell you guys that I'm looking at like $1 million price predictions or anything. That's not what this channel is about. We're all about being very realistic and actually just understanding that these things that I'm pointing out to you on these charts, yes, they've happened to Amazon a long time ago on a different time frame and so on, and things are different, but psychology generally stays the same, and these are both tech assets at the end of the day. So I think this is really important to keep in mind. We're just looking for the behavioral cues right here in the market. And one of the great ones that we ended up setting right here was, we looked at this previous high right here, bounced off it, got a really nice meaningful bounce. In our case, this was about a 40% move. And then we ended up dropping back down. We actually swept that low. The low that we set here was at about 40 cents. We actually went a little bit, or a lot lower than that, down to, I don't know, it looks like 28 cents or something like that, until we eventually started to rally back up. And that could be what Bitcoin is looking to do again right now. This green line should actually be a little bit lower. I'd say it should be touching these resistance hits right here. But bottom line, the chart still tells us the same story. We got the same bounce. We're coming back down now. If we are looking to sweep that low, that is potentially putting us below our prior low at 17, but not necessarily for a long time. This is a slightly different view of what actually happened, and I can actually put this on the chart side by side as well, just to show you this. so we can see what's going on quite easily. Let's put this on the weekly and this on the 3-day, and then let me just show you the exact same thing right here. So this is Amazon. This is what we were looking at right here. Let's move to Bitcoin, and this is basically, let's take a different Bitcoin chart, something where I haven't drawn a bunch of things on, and yeah, with Bitcoin, we've got basically this level right here. So this is kind of what we're looking at. We've already kind of revisited that level. Look at this. The similarities are quite remarkable. And really, all Amazon had was a bit of a deviation, and then it ended up rising higher again. And the reason that I think this is important to look at is, you know, they are following each other pretty well so far. You know, you look at the high right here. It doesn't last long. We set a brand new all-time high. We set a double top, triple top type situation. It's similar here. It's a very, very similar pattern in the market, including the drop. You know, the drop down for Amazon, I think, looked a little bit worse than Bitcoin's, but they were both absolutely abysmal. So, you know, so far they are kind of following in each other's, well, Bitcoin is following in Amazon's footsteps, and I think that's a really, really interesting thing. I haven't gotten to the bad part yet, by the way. I will get to that in just a second, but you know, I think that this does you know, hint at what Bitcoin could be doing, and obviously it allows us to make, you know, slightly more informed trades just when we understand the bigger picture in the market, and we can kind of put things in context, right? If we're looking at Bitcoin right now, you know, you're analyzing the 1 hour time frame, the 4 hour time frame, the 1 day time frame, and so on. But if you can really put this in perspective of what's happened in the past, because history loves to rhyme and so on, I think you get a chance to put yourself in a really, really powerful position. That's important because, as you guys know, you know, I do like to trade these markets, and I just want to bring these guys to your attention, guys. BitGet is one of the companies which started working with earlier this month, but I've known them for quite a while. They are offering you over $8,000 just to sign up in bonuses by using my link in the description. So BitGet, for those of you who don't know, is a derivatives exchange. They do a bunch of stuff. They have a lot of pairs. They've got a lot of cool features. Some features that I haven't seen on any other exchanges as well, which I think is pretty cool. They've even got simulated trading right into their main website. So if you're kind of new to the market, you want to check out the simulated trading, there's a lot going on right here. I think it's a really good platform. Go ahead and check it out. And when you do sign up, you're going to be getting over 8,000. I'm sorry, around 8,000. Let me get my webcam back on. That's too big. Here we go. You're going to be getting $8,000 in bonuses when you do sign up using BitGet. So go ahead and check it out, because that is free cash, ladies and gents. There's absolutely no reason to be leaving that on the table. But looking at what Amazon ended up doing right here, it does look very much just like a kind of deviation below, and actually quite a stark deviation, just to put this in perspective, by the way, from that low to where the market actually bottomed out. That was a 32% drop, you know. So you know, Bitcoin isn't moving as badly as Amazon. So, you know, where Amazon has a 32% drop, I don't know, let's say Bitcoin has a 25% drop, it's still putting us pretty low. It's putting us down, in this case, you know, down to 13K, 12K, whatever. It doesn't really matter what price targets you have in mind. The thing is anywhere kind of sub 17, I think we're going to get a lot of panic. And yeah, I think the support ranges are pretty clearly defined to me, though. I mean, it looks like kind of like 11 up to, you know, something like 11 to 14, somewhere in this range, I think, you know, is a really nice area of support. And then the final call would kind of be like $9,000 down here. I haven't spoken too much about this on the YouTube channel yet. If you've watched my live streams because you've been subscribed, then you will know my thoughts about this. But, you know, I'm not too big on talking about these price targets just at the minute, because we're really far away from it, so I don't think there's any point discussing it. The thing with Amazon, though, that's not so nice, is that after this kind of happened, well, let me just show you the next chart. Oh, and this is we'll get to this in just a second. What happened after this with Amazon is yeah, we ended up kind of getting that deviation, but it then took, if you look at the dates, you know, for Amazon to set this all-time high, this is December 1999. It then took Amazon until October of 2009 to breach that all-time high. Okay, so that is near enough 10 years. That's 9 years and 10 months or something. Very, very, very long time. You know, and there's good reason to believe that Bitcoin won't follow this. I'll get to that in just a second. But of course, what it does mean is that, you know, we get this kind of deviation. There's this long, beautiful kind of spring, this new spring in the bull market. Not quite a summer. We're not quite getting all those crazy breakouts, but there is something nice to come. And I think it's somewhat reasonable to expect that with Bitcoin as well. You know, Bitcoin's had a pretty bad treatment, guys. And you know, this kind of thing doesn't last forever. You know, it feels like it does. That's how it's supposed to feel when you're in it, but it doesn't last forever. It never has, and I don't think it ever will. You know, and so we go back to this chart right here. And so there was a little bit of relief right here, but it took Amazon a very long time. Now, the thing is this came off the back of the dot-com bubble. I'm not going to read all this out to you guys. You probably already know what the dot-com bubble is, but this is basically just right at the end of the previous century. A lot of things went bust in the tech sector, and Amazon was one of the companies that, you know, quite clearly got hit with this. You know, and one of the reasons I think that Amazon wasn't able to recover for a long time was simply that you know, people were very skeptical, you know, about internet websites, internet shopping, and so on. You know, it was just a different landscape. I don't need to tell you this. You've lived through it most likely. So, you know, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And that is not the same for Bitcoin right now. That is not the same for financial sovereignty and all the other things that Bitcoin represents. I just don't see people becoming more skeptical of it, you know, especially when you consider what's actually happening with money and, you know, private banking or government run banking and so on. It's all a complete mess around the world, absolutely fucking everywhere, with small exceptions. So to me, that is like a selling point for Bitcoin. That means that Bitcoin's actually in a pretty powerful position right now to capture more interest. And if we look at, you know, the kind of time frames right here, this was 483 days for Bitcoin. Its drop took 230 days, as you can see right here. So, you know, call it like roughly half. You know, even if, you know, Bitcoin follows something like Amazon is doing, but it's kind of doing it roughly 2 times as quick. You know, that still tells us that Bitcoin is going to take 5 years to breach that all-time high. You know, guys, the next halving is in like 2 years. So I think it's like, let's just check it out. Bitcoin halving countdown. I think it is 2024, right? So that is, does it give a date? Because I can't do this based off. I'm pretty sure this puts us in 2024. They should just write the date though. That's so unnecessary. It must be somewhere, and I just don't know where it is. But yeah, I mean, generally, it for me it's hard to, yeah, February 2024. You know, so it's not actually that far away. You know, I think that that is something to keep in mind. You know, Bitcoin from history always does very, very well around its halving kind of times, and a 5-year time horizon puts us beyond that. I just don't see it happening. So you know, I'm quite a lot more optimistic than what some other people are saying. You know, for me, I just like to read the room. I like to look at the sentiment around the space. We're back in extreme fear. I like to see what people are saying. You know, when people who have been you know, calling for the market to drop, you know, kind of nobody's really done it throughout the whole rally, but I think from here, you know, a lot of people were able to start picking up some confidence as bears. You know, I'm interested in seeing how are they behaving now. You know, are they remaining students of the market, or are they generally becoming a little bit more cocky and arrogant? And I'm seeing that it's the latter. So to me, that's another great sign that actually, you know, a bit of relief could be on the horizon. I still think, you know, it's very likely we end up trading in something like this. This is actually my best case scenario. I just feel like it's a little bit too early to be dropping down, but I don't know. It's not so obvious at times. Let's go back to the Bitcoin chart and take a look at this, just to see what this does look like on the shorter term time frame. I mean, we're basically just consolidating at a low. Not the best of signs really, but potential kind of diamond reversal pattern forming. I don't talk about them often. I don't think they're very reliable, but bottom line, I mean, we are holding 20k, so that is a good sign. And of course, by the way, you know, needless to say, Amazon did extremely well after you know, that kind of 10-year period between its all-time high and breaking its all-time high. You know, and now obviously it's so much higher. So, you know, if Bitcoin were to pull a gain like that, we're looking at literally a $2 million Bitcoin. If it manages to pull, you know, like a 100 times gain from here, that's a $2 million Bitcoin. So don't get the lotion out just yet. gents, because obviously that would mean the US dollar would come plummeting down and you would have major problems in your life. Regardless of if you live in America, if the US dollar implodes as much as it would need to yield a $2 million Bitcoin. But that is a conversation for another day. If you want me to talk about it, drop it in the comments. Let me know if you want me to dive really deep into those, quite big economic factors that Bitcoin really at the end of the day is at the mercy of. If you want me to talk about that, go ahead and let me know in the comments. If you want to get $8,000 in bonuses for free, don't know what you're waiting for, ladies and gents. Check it out with the link in the description down below. They've got a few really big benefits, like not requiring KYC and some pretty nice withdrawal limits as well, and so on. So these guys are good at what they're doing. Go check them out. Get your free cash. See if you like them. Play around with the simulated trading if that's something you're into. I love features like this. I think this is one of the best things you could do. So go ahead and check all that out. If you want to see how I'm trading in the market, these are the steps on screen. With that though, you know what to do. Hit up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, and I'm out. Bye-bye.